Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, my gorgeous Tauruses. This is your May 2025 reading. This will be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Um, it can certainly be for those who you may be in love with the Taurus, platonically, romantically. Something I want to remind you of is if that's the case, don't forget to also check out their moon, because if you want to know like their true feelings, it's usually within their moon sign. Um, so I do recommend that. But anyways, some of you could certainly have planets in the sign of Taurus. Um, I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to think of the planetary action, but I do know there was 3 weeks where all the planets were direct, and I feel like that's a very good thing for us. I feel like it's going to bring or open up more opportunity. All of a sudden, I'm just picking this up intuitively. Like I don't know why right now, but I do feel that. And I remember I did a special reading for you, which I'll connect in the comment section. It was really quite beautiful. Um, Very real. Some of it was difficult, but there was a beautiful silver lining. That's why I always say try to stay to the end of the reading because that's really where we find our silver linings. Anyway, back to the reading. Some of you are intuitively guided. You don't even know if you have Taurus in your chart. Those are your spirit guides who are nudging you towards a reading because chances are they have some important signs for you, important messages. And listen, they'll use any means they can to reach you. They know you're going to be here before you know. Um, they may have even, again, nudged you. So, whatever brought you, welcome. So, we're going to do a couple different things. Um, I am going to take, well, I'm actually going to take the top. This is going to be a special message for you. So, let's go ahead. And I kept him down because I didn't want to see him. Like, I shuffled him. As I begin the new year, I recognize that this is traditionally the time for a fresh start, but any moment can be the beginning of something new. All I have to do is change my thoughts. In fact, the only thing I ever have any control of is my current thinking. So I work on using my mind to enhance my thoughts. In this way, my life can be ever new, and I can continue to expand my horizons. The power is always within me. Wow. Like, wow. I don't know. I just felt like that was quite beautiful. And, something made me pull them into your reading. So I feel like for some of you, that alone may be a sign. Okay, so let's get into the tarot portion. So we will use Mother Mary, not use her, but we'll give her the honor of opening up the reading. We are going to use the major arcanas, again for bullet points. For anyone who's new, that's what I use them for. For those who've been with me, you understand, I think, I hope, I feel the value that they bring to their reading. We will use the Gilded Tarot to clarify and go deeper, and a new deck in the family. Of course, I forgot the name already, so I did save the box to this one. Is Guardian Angel Messages. Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. So this is what we'll use for your main spread. We're really going to break in this deck. This will be the third time I've used it. I did in all signs. Oh, I did Aries right before yours, and I used it in Aries too. So, also, let me say happy birthday real quick. I'm so sorry. I should have started with that. Happy birthday to you. Um, I hope it's the best one yet. So, we'll use the just archangel messages for your main spread. Let me go ahead and grab a or drink of coffee. Actually, let me get it off the table. Okay. So, let's go ahead. Let's bring the lid down. Let's start with Mother Mary. I also have the clarifying love situations and the romance angels standing guard. If love comes into the reading, then we will definitely pull in the clarifying love situations and the romance angels. Mm-mm-mm. I feel like that's yours. All right. You ready? Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Some of you, that may be like a question you literally had. Which direction do I go? Follow your passion. Use your logical mind, but follow your passion. This reminds me of the Three of Wands, which really is an optimistic view. It's someone living in the present moment, but like releasing the demand of when something must show, and just know and trust that divine's working on your behalf. So, whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. And then we have Father. My true Father is God in heaven who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. I feel like for some of you, this is a father figure who is part of your spiritual team now. Do you know who has crossed over? I'm saying father figure because I often feel like big brother energy. But let's just say this would be someone, it definitely feels to me like this is someone you live this lifetime with. We're soul connected, which means we've probably lived past lives together, you and I. Um, but many times our family also, we can play different roles. It's interesting. I had a good psychic friend of mine tell me that my son, who is crossed over, and my father, who is crossed over, that they already have plans of being brothers in the next life. And I'm like, interesting. I want to be their mother. I want to be their mother. Or their sister. Maybe their sister. All right. Let's bring in the major arcanas. Give them a shuffle. Let's give them a cut. All right, so we have the Tower. The good news is it's the first card. Um, Chances are you're recovering from something. We have the Hangman. Interesting how I said you're recovering, and then the Hangman comes out. So some of you, it's like I feel like the Tower is having less and less effect on you. Like you're swaying away from it. Let's see what you're swaying towards. Well, hello, lovers. Hello, lovers. A head over heart decision. Heart of Gemini. But it's about chemistry. It's chemistry, baby. And you can see that These lovers have an angel's influence over them. It's like divinely guided. I say that because sometimes you'll see the devil's card where you also see the lovers, but it's the devil's influence over them. Not here. And the hangman is swaying right to it. Yet, we'll figure out what happened in this tower. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like you're moving away from it. Okay. We have the strength card of Leo. Gemini is the neighbor. And then beautiful, we have the world. So this is about a new beginning. This is the next probably 9 years. I say that because many of you know what I'm going to say, but we're in the year of the Hermit. This is the last year of a 9-year cycle. So I really do feel like we have to think about that because I want to be pretty clear on how I want my next 9 years to look. Passion. Follow that passion. It doesn't guarantee you that everything would work out, but sometimes by not following it, there's always that, what if? What if I would have? So, the world to me also makes me feel even stronger that you're overcoming this tower, that you're moving into this next chapter of your life. And I said that this is like the next 9 years, but honestly, I feel like the world energy, um, whatever comes of it, I feel like usually is for the rest of our lives. I also want you to notice this person right in the middle is the Fool. And what that to me means is the necessity to clear the past, sweep out the old, be open for the new. I feel like both are important. This tower, like sweep it out the door. Because again, like I could see that, at one time it probably had a great effect on you. But it feels like, again, you're moving further and further away from it. Um, the hangman is seeking spiritual wisdom, but to use on this earthly plane, like help guide my next steps. Maybe this tower has put like some uncertainty within your heart. What we got to be careful of is, like one person treats us bad, we think everyone's going to treat us bad. And if you find yourself like, well, but that's how it's happened, Sandy, then you have to look at your own energy. And I mean this in the most loving of ways because you have to know, have I been in a repeat pattern? Am I accepting less than? Do I know my own worth? And if I do, what am I doing about it? Again, the hangman, it's a very small action, but he's swaying towards the lovers. To me, it's like a symbol to the universe that I know what I want. I just don't know how it's going to come about. Then you have the strength card. So the strength card, number one, is an 8. So that speaks about a new beginning. Strength card really is about knowing oneself inside and out, our own demons. It's about finding inner balance. You know, um, we all have a light side, but we all have a dark side. And in the strength card, I feel like I'm getting to know my dark side. I may even give it a name. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fear it. I'm going to control it. And that's what you're doing in this strength card. You're controlling, you know, your own energy, which is what you do have power over. So, kind of like this because I feel like clarity comes with the strength card. Courage definitely comes with the strength card. Where I may have been fearful of taking a step forward, I feel like going through the energy of the Strength card takes that fear away. Again, remembering that there is both light and dark within everyone, including ourselves. But the way it's making me feel is that the majority of you already know this, and the majority of you are swaying towards this new energy, whatever it may be. It's new. Even if it's old, it's new again. Do I think the Lovers is connected to these towers? I really don't think so. Um, because I feel like the Hangman is working on oneself also, and is not allowing this tower, like they are allowing the tower to have some effect, right? The Hangman is kind of like a pause in the action. If you've been single for a little while, don't regret that. Um, because there may have been a lot you've been learning about yourself. All right, let's bring in. I cannot think of the name already. Guardian Angel Messages. One day I know I'm going to get rid of the box and I'll totally forget the name, but so be it. They are a big deck for these little hands. And I'll tell you why I bought them. I was very intuitively guided to them. Um, I haven't bought a deck of cards in a long time. I mean, I've been gifted cards, but I haven't bought cards because I'm very, very picky. And it has to speak to my intuition. And I'm looking all the time. Not all the time, but I do look here and there. And I got an email from, I think, A House that they were having a special. So I went right over, and this deck really called to me. So we're going to use it. All right. See what's going on with these lovers. See what the world energy, which is, again, the next chapter, what it's bringing in. We have the Four of Pentacles. By the way, when I get a new deck, I don't look at the images. I shuffle them, I get them ready, I bless them, I sage them, I do everything, but I don't look at the images because I want to see them when you see them. And I haven't seen this one yet. So the Four of Pentacles, frugal, like controlling your spending. There's a 44 on the door. Interesting. 44. That may ring a bell for someone. To me, this is about one's foundation. All right. Well, hello, Ten of Cups. Wow. That didn't take long at all, and it's under the Hangman. Family, love, blessings. This is the house of love. This is the house of harmony. We have balance. This is justice, compromise, self-control, moderation. Interesting, it's coming under the Lovers, but it's sitting right next to the Ten of Cups. Justice can mean quite a few different things, actually. It can talk about karma, like karmic situation, karmic relationships. Usually is karmic relationships. Sometimes it's karma that we're paying back. And sometimes it's the karma that we have earned. All right, well, let's keep going. We have the beautiful sun, double Leo, right here, your illuminator. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Communication, maybe? Oh my gosh. Hello, Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, all following the sun. That tells me there's nothing to fear here. That tells me whatever these aces are ushering in, it's a good thing. You know, when the sun comes out, it's in the very first line of your reading. Then, you know, you don't have to worry. The sun comes out as kind of like your comforter. You know, like what's ever done in the dark will come to the light. Interesting is coming under the strength card. So I feel like many of you have like been going through this energy of really getting to know yourself. You know, you probably want a better life. Wow. These aces are coming in. We have the Ten of Cups. I'm not sure yet whether the Ten of Cups is all that it claims to be at this moment, just because justice is next to it. But let's see what comes under it. You know, the Ace of Swords says inspiration, communication, adjustments. It's mirroring the Four of Swords. By the way, this person's sword, it's down. So I feel like it's been used. And it's interesting because if you just look at this image, like this person, it's really like a young boy, it feels like. He feels like he's down. Like, I had to use that sword. And maybe it's something that was hard to cut out, but I knew that it would serve me to do it. This could certainly be something that has taken some time. But listen, I feel like there are definitely good rewards that follow this energy. Some of you, this could certainly be someone, just because I'm noticing this little boy, could certainly tie back to the lovers. We'll see. This Ace of Swords is mirroring the Four of Pentacles. Inspiration. Wow. If you're working from home, especially with this being right next to the sun, don't be surprised if you start receiving like all kinds of ideas and epiphanies. I mean, the type that can really change your life, change your world, if that's what you're looking for. You know, the only thing with the Four of Pentacles is you want to be careful that you don't, well, you want to be open. Four of Pentacles can be resistant energy, resistant to other people's ideas. You know, it reminds me of me, a Virgo, where we think we always have the right answer. And we have to learn to open up. We don't have to accept what we hear. But I feel like I feel like you're meant to get this inspiration. I feel like you're meant to get new ideas. Like it feels like it's moving you into your creativity. And I love the sun is like backing all of this. And even if you're working from home with the Ace of Cups below it, wow, that means you're loving what you do. Yes, work, loving it. Okay. Ace of Cups is also mirroring the Tower. So, makes me feel like that Tower could have something to do, well, let's just say with the heart, with emotions. I also want to say, like, all of a sudden in my mind, and I'm not trying to bring your reading down, but this is what I'm picking up all of a sudden is when my son crossed over. I know that he was guiding Sam and I together. Sam is who I'm with now. He was my first love. Um, but I know that he was guiding us together. And I'm saying that because when I see or feel the energy of Father, I feel the same thing. Like there's like you're being guided. And that tower could certainly speak about losing a loved one. This is not a prediction, by the way. This would have already happened. I want to make that clear. Look at this. We have the world. So we have the world twice. But can I tell you? The world coming under the Ten of Cups, sitting next to the Ace of Cups. You know, does this feel like new love? It does. Even more reason to use that sword of justice. But I feel like a lot of you already did. I feel like you're learning what it is you want in your life and what it is you don't want in your life. And then you're taking those steps forward, even if they're little baby steps. Those little baby steps are going to open up a whole new world for you if that's what you want. But look at the beauty that's surrounding this next chapter. The hangman is mirroring the world. Here it says accomplishment, celebration, and completion. So I feel like whatever was in a tower, it was its day. You know, it was its time. You have quite a few major arcanas out also, besides the ones on top. It's hard for my little hand to like grasp the cards. We have the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Page of Pentacles is mirroring the lovers. Coming under justice. And then, oh my God, the Knight of Cups. Unexpected couple fulfillment. This night, every night is bringing you something, whether it be something as tangible or an energy, or with this energy, maybe even a person. This night is the promise of the Ace of Cups. Here it is. Here it is. It's coming under the sun. What a beautiful place for it to come under. Illumination. Nothing to fear here. Romantic, emotional, dramatic. Interesting. I wonder why they threw in the word dramatic. All right. And then we got the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, intelligent, exuberant, determined. Yes, she is. The Queen of Wands to me is someone who definitely takes chances. She thinks about it later. Um, and yes, they don't all work out, but this is someone who has learned to get back up again. It's a process. You know what I mean? It's a process that she's been through. I do feel like this is you. And anybody who's new, you may be like, but wait, that's a fire sign. I understand that. And it may be a fire sign for some, but I don't know. I'm picking it up as you. And I'm picking it up as you receiving this Knight of Cups offer because it's mirroring the Ace of Cups. So if anyone's going to say yes, it's this Queen. And that's probably why it's showing as you. I'm going to slide these over a little bit. I can see that you can't see them all. Okay, let's take a second and let's just look at this before we bring in the clarifiers. Actually, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Whoa. Okay, so Ten of Swords showed. It could certainly be a repeat pattern. Let's see what it says. Ending, recovery, freedom. Wow. But this is the real bottom. Look at this. The Four of Wands. Prosperity, contentment, celebration. This really is the marriage card. Commitment card. Let's call it the commitment card. But is it a commitment? Is it a true commitment? Because I just get the feeling that the Tower and the Four of Wands and Justice go together. I feel like the page coming under Justice, the Page of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles is about learning. It's about growing. Studious, prepared, cheerful, chilled out, I feel. This could be the younger version of someone. Is this the only page? I felt like there was another page. The one thing I want to say is there honestly looks like there is nothing here that you need to fear. It feels quite the opposite. If it's like the world is opening up for you. Some of you, I do feel like you may have just paid back some karma. And listen, it could have taken lifetimes to pay it back. And if we're paying karma back, it's not going to be an easy journey. But it's definitely a journey that we can succeed in. Because now it's like good rewards. I mean, I feel like your guides are covering everything here. I feel like for those who are working from home, and listen, you don't even have to be working from home, but I feel like when you're at home, you may receive some like real epiphanies, real ideas, and you can take that one idea and create something brand new for yourself. And the sun is one of the reasons. I mean, what does the sun do? It grows, right? It helps things grow. So it's helping you grow. But it's also a sign that everything will be illuminated. Again, anything done in the dark will come to the light. And, maybe that's all I need to know. Because right under the sun is that Knight of Cups. This knight is bringing in romance. Here is that cup. Here is the queen. And this is the queen that would say yes. That's probably why we're seeing this queen right now. I feel like if you look at let's just say whatever the tower was. And, you know, we don't just go through one tower. Tower really is disruption, endings, right? But then you get the world. It's the next chapter. It is life. You know, the ebbs and flows. Even if you think of Mother Nature, right? Mother Nature knows that when there's time for a change, right? From spring to summer, from summer to fall, fall to winter, you know, storms, and then beautiful sunny days, earthquakes, but then harmony. So all I'm saying is if Mother Earth can go through these changes, it just feels natural. Like that we also need to, well, let me just put it this way. I feel like the more we understand that, you know, not everything is meant to last a lifetime. You know, I do feel like some of you have cut ties with someone, or they could have cut ties with you. Because, you know, I do feel like it affected you. Who knows how long the hangman has been in the pause energy, you know? That's really up to the hangman, you. But we see that the hangman is making some movement, small, but still moving towards the lovers away from that tower, and then the world mirroring the tower. So whatever is ended in that, you know, whatever the tower has ended, maybe, just maybe, it's because there is this beautiful new, uh, like a promise of a new beginning. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. You know, I feel like saying for some, you may have been in a relationship where you thought it was going to be the Ten of Cups. That's how you pictured it in your mind, but it doesn't feel like it turned out that way. Probably the opposite. Sometimes I feel like this is why we got to give people time, because time will reveal who someone truly is. But then again, with the sun, I feel like anything that's coming in is going to be very clear for you. You know, learn from the tower instead of you know, the danger with the tower, I feel, especially if it's related to love, is we can take on the perspective that everyone is like that person, but it's just not the case. Again, sometimes we have to look at our own energy. You know, maybe I just keep manifesting the same type of energy back. Well, what's the one thing you can control? Your energy. So I feel like, you know, I do feel like what I thought was going to be a loving home, I don't feel like it turned out that way. It's interesting, with just a big bang on the other side. But what I want you to notice is the world is also under the Ten of Cups. So I feel like one didn't work out, but that doesn't mean that you won't have this Ten of Cups. It's showing it. And it's showing it as part of this next chapter. Do you have to allow? Of course you do. No one can make you. Now, let's say you're not even thinking in that way. Does that stop this from coming in? I don't think so. I think it comes in no matter what, but then it's up to you, right? You say yay or nay. And I do feel like that's why the Queen of Wands came out, because she's someone who does move according to her passions. If I feel it, then I move in it. But listen, again, she has fallen. She's been through these towers, but she gets back up again. I'm not going to leave it off the table that and I feel like this is for very few, there could be an apology also coming. Now, do you take that apology? Let's say it's what caused that tower. Do you take that apology and then try again? Wow. That person, I would not go fast. I'm not telling you to say no, but what I would do is, and not in an ignorant way, but I would definitely be paying attention, because I feel once you've gone through that tower, you're able to pick up those signs. And then the sun also will illuminate if someone is apologizing. Do they really mean it? Some maybe yes, but some maybe not. That's why you want to trust your intuition. Like, even over what they tell you. Uh, the only thing I don't like about these cards is they move all over the place and it drives me crazy. Okay. We have the Six of Pentacles over the Four of Pentacles. Hello, lovers again. Over the Ten of Cups. We have the Three of Cups over Justice. It's called balance here. Three Cups is celebration, energy of joy. How interesting that we just got the lovers again. So I feel like we're mirroring some energy here because we have two worlds. Now we have two lovers. Interesting that this one lover here is also connected to the tower. Well, this may be where that apology comes in. Or I shouldn't assume that it's always someone else who needs to apologize. If we feel like we need to. But I think the Six of Pentacles, by the way, 66. I swear it's following me in every reading. There's always something. Like 33 had been following me for a long time. Now it's 66. Well, that's a multiple of 33. But anyway, Six of Pentacles, number one, the person in the Six of Pentacles is compassionate, empathetic, usually a giver. Six of Pentacles often speaks about an imbalance. One gives, the other just takes without returning, without giving back or giving little. So there has to be balance. All of a sudden I get this feeling that, maybe if this is an old love, that maybe it can work out. Especially if everybody understands like their own part within it. Okay. But I have to say, it's interesting. I always feel both sides of the coin, because I feel for more. This is about, listen, you may already know this person, because when I see the lovers, I feel they're definitely soul connected. They probably have had past lives together, probably multiple past lives. And, you know, maybe that was part of the karma. Like in our last lifetime, maybe something didn't go well. But listen, then comes in the energy of joy and celebration. It's like someone has really learned their ways, including you. Okay, let's keep going. What comes under the lovers will be very telling, but let's not rush it. Listen, I know that someone has been working on the light and the dark within themselves. I know that. Three of Swords. Interesting. There's that 33. Interesting how I just said that and then it comes out. So, heartache. But it's over the sun, connected to strength. What you're overcoming. But then we have the Knight of Cups right below it. Who is bringing in a cup? We have it. It feels like what you're overcoming is this heartache. You know, let's just say prior heartache, because in the Three of Swords, it's already happened, right? The swords have already pierced my heart. And if this is talking about anything new that's coming your way, then the sun is there to help you clear that energy. You know, maybe put hope back in your heart. Kind of feels like it's getting you ready for something. We have the King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Gemini and Libra on the board. No Aquarius yet. But let's talk about this king. You know, I kind of love that he's coming over the Ace of Swords. Him being swords himself. And you know my next line's going to be like, but it doesn't have to be. So this is about communication. This is a king in the upright who has integrity. If he was reversed, I would call him a narcissist. But he's not reversed. He's in the upright. And it feels like it's him that's going to be communicating. Now, him or her. You know, the queen could be a king, the king be a queen. It's however the story fits you. I don't feel like there's anything negative with this king. I know he's following the Three of Swords, but I feel like the Three of Swords is what you've been overcoming. And again, maybe the reason why you're swaying closer to the lovers now versus the tower is maybe you are understanding that. Like, I can't expect all love to work out. I can't expect all things to always produce beautiful things. Sometimes it's going to be rough, but it's nothing I can't overcome. And I even love how the king is coming in after that. Doesn't mean one's heart is completely healed. I feel like that's why the hangman is still like in that pose. But I feel like it's going to change. I feel like that hangman's going to flip around. All right, interesting. Now we have the Queen of Swords following the King of Swords. Interesting, because this king may communicate some type of coming over the Ace of Cups, some type of emotion. They are like-minded. Even their swords are in the same position. She has these beautiful white doves around her, so I don't feel like she's carrying like unforgiveness in her heart. I don't feel like she's carrying, I'm not going to say any negativity. I get the sense that this queen knows who she is. And that's that. I know who I am. The magician, the manifester, under the lovers. Wow. Over the world. And then the Eight of Pentacles over the Page of Pentacles and under Justice and the Three of Cups. So, number one, 2026 is going to be the year of the magician. And it's going to be a powerful year. That's why right now we're in the year of the hermit. That's why we are being asked to reflect on, honestly, what you want to bring along for the next 9 years or for the rest of your life. You know, the Page of Pentacles tells me that you've been learning, you've been growing. And I feel like, and you've been healing. Some of you, you're starting a new avenue in the way you make your money. But I feel you're being guided. I wouldn't be surprised if this queen and king both do something similar, like they may work in communication. You know, they may communicate like as for a living. This is also a beautiful omen of taking a seed and creating a business. Taking your wisdom, bring it to the table, and then allow these epiphanies and ideas to reach you. And I feel like the next thing you know, you have a business. Eight of Pentacles can also answer a question as it relates to love. How do I know? How do I know it's going to be successful? Well, the Eight of Pentacles tells you if you put your focus on it, it will grow. But you do have to focus on it, right? You do want it to grow. So it has that ability, but both lovers' focus has to be on that. Interesting. I feel like don't try not to regret the things that you've been through because I feel like you've learned so much. And I really feel like on a spiritual level, you know, it feels like you're understanding like the light and the dark and, you know, how like there are chapters to our lives. And sometimes we got to learn when one chapter is over. Otherwise, it just becomes a run on. The power of the magician over the world. Wow. And if you've been trying to manifest, you know, I'm saying trying. I don't know if that's even the right word. But it definitely has something to do with the lovers. But that's not the only thing. You know, it definitely love is a big part of this. But I also feel like when I say that I feel like you're going to receive epiphanies and ideas from your spiritual team, I really, really feel that. And I feel like some of you, you're going to look back, let's just say a year from now or 2 years from now, and your life is just going to be completely different. We have the moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. Moon is also feminine energy. Oh, interesting. We have the sun right there, which is masculine. Masculine and the feminine are now connected. The moon can certainly, can hinder us, but only in our thought system. And what I mean by that is sometimes we are afraid of the uncertainties. Like, I don't know what's next. Well, but understand your power in helping to create what's next. This magician, it's you. And it's a reminder that you possess everything you need to really manifest the type of life that you'd like to see. I feel like, yes, we do have to learn to give up some control. But I feel like the control that we give up is to allow our spirit guides to guide us to, well, again, an unrecognizable life. You know, though the moon can speak of uncertainties, it's also very dreamy energy coming over the Knight of Cups, romantic. And I'll be honest, well, as soon as I was going to say, I'll be honest, I feel like this queen, I feel like she's going to feel the dreamy energy of it. But I do feel for others, let's just say if you haven't like really looked within, the fear may be that I don't want to repeat any more heartache. And listen, everybody understands that. We've all been there. But I feel at the same time, like, know who you're giving your energy and your time to. Are they respecting you? Are they giving you what you deserve? If you're giving to them, are they giving back? It has to be up to you whether you stay, you go. If someone's coming back with an apology, then again, the more that you've cleared the energy, the easier it's going to be to really know the truth of the matter. But I have to say that I feel like if this is talking about someone coming back in, it does feel like they understand. Mm. Hello, Ten of Pentacles. Wow. So we have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. We have the World twice. We have the beautiful Knight of Cups that's bringing in this beautiful cup of fulfillment. I never feel that one is alone in the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Cups. And it's interesting how I said I felt like the Queen and the King are very like-minded. Well, look what they produce, the Ten of Pentacles. So it's the house of abundance. It's a house that can truly take root. You may even collaborate together. Some of you, this may be how you meet someone new. It could be someone who like understands what you're doing and just I don't know. I feel like out of the blue helps you. And that may just strike up the next conversation and then the next conversation. All right, let's go right below it. All right. Six of Cups, or Six of Swords, Page of Cups. Well, there's our second page. And another page, Page of Swords. Interesting. King and Queen of Swords, now the Page of Swords. And then, hello, Destiny. Wow. And it's coming over this Knight of Cups. This is destined love. There's no other way to read it. It's part of your destiny. These lovers, you're one of them. It is part of your destiny. Does that guarantee you that you will move into this energy? No. But the sun is really your helping hand here. How interesting. We also have the feminine and the masculine connected, and then we also get destiny. Okay, let's go back for a second. We have two pages here. Page of Cups, Page of Swords. I feel like this Page of Swords. Now, first of all, a page can tell you what's in the atmosphere. Well, a Page of Cups would be love. Page of Swords, communication, epiphanies, ideas. It can also be younger energy. And we need to go back one more card to the Six of Swords. So someone has moved on. That means this tower is behind them. Yes, I had to go through the storm, but this is the promise of calmer waters ahead. Temporarily, it can be difficult, and that can stop a lot of people. But can you rebuild your life? Yes. Can it even be better than what it was? Oh, yeah. So, it's saying that you are realizing the toxicity within your own life, whether it be people, it can also be your own thought system, you know. And where I feel that may be an issue is if I'm, if I'm comparing everyone to broken love, and I'm assuming the next will be like the last. That's why I want you just to do an energy check. Because as you raise your own vibration, which is exactly what looks like is happening, within the universe must meet you where you are at. You're heading into a destined time. I love that we have two worlds here, two lovers here. I mean, there's something going on here. Look at this, the strength card. Two strength cards now. Wow. When I say that the Queen and King have like-minded energy, I'm getting it even more now. I feel like this Queen and King, I feel like they each have their own experiences as it relates to love, just life in general. Towers. I feel like they both have gone through 'em, as we all have. But it looks like they're coming out the other side. They're wiser than they've ever been. I have a feeling someone has really learned that fine art of communication. And I feel like another is learning that fine art of give and take. What is fair, what is not fair. Everyone looks like they're overcoming. Everyone looks like they're really getting to know themselves. And that alone is going to raise your vibration, by the way. So the ability to use a magician's energy, think about your own energy. You know what I mean? Because again, what do I want to manifest? Well, if I think that nothing can ever get better, then am I not just manifesting more things to worry about? But if I turn that around, again, even if it's just step by step, then, well, your life changes, but for the better. I mean, you have abundance all over the place. You have romantic love all over the place. You have these aces and these worlds that really all stand for new beginnings all over the place. You have destiny. So we know that you're moving into a destined time. I feel like don't regret. I know I've already said that, but what am I trying to say? I feel like the things that I have learned, probably through some of the hardest experiences, have been my best teacher. I just got to recognize that. And I feel like try as hard as you can not to assume that every lover will be like someone who maybe just didn't know how to love. Maybe they stayed a page and they didn't evolve. But that doesn't mean, because we're seeing the evolution here. Page of Cups is also about allowing your inner child to come out, have some fun, maybe a little romance. It is mirroring the lovers with the magician right in between it. I feel like that what I hope for, that 10 of Cups, I don't feel like I got it, but I feel like it's on the horizon. Like, I feel like this is what this reading is saying. Like, yes, you may have lost something, but there's more to be gained. Hang on one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I got a knock at the door. Every time I say that, I think, come and knock at my door. Um, okay, let's go ahead and bring in the clarifying love situations. I feel like I don't want to like overspeak this. I feel it's being pretty clear. You know, do I think you're going to fall in love in this next chapter of your life? I do. Do I think you have the ability to create real abundance for yourself? I do. And do I feel like your spiritual team is helping you and helping to guide you? Really, every step of the way? I do. Do I feel like this is talking about, well, I'm going to say two people, but let's just say lovers coming together? Maybe in their divine time? I do. Well, let's say you didn't want love at all. Do I think you have the ability to create abundance for yourself? I already know that you do. I already know that. But I would definitely say stay open because you may get these random ideas and it may happen a lot in the month of May. Let's put it this way. If your spirit guides send you a sign to help guide you towards, something I feel like you'll celebrate, then they'll keep sending that sign until you pick it up. Now, you can then just be like, but I don't feel that. I don't feel you saying no. Maybe you're saying no to someone, but yet the lovers is here twice. The love that we have on this board is amazing, but also the abundance that's on this board is amazing. This just feels like it's going to be one hell of a month for you, but this is just the beginning. Do I feel like the hangman is going to free himself? I do. Okay. Let's bring in I don't know if I cut them, so we'll just go ahead and cut them. What I like about this deck, even though it says clarifying love situations, it's not always about love. Entangled. Establish and communicate your own boundaries. This message here. So it depends which way the card comes out. Each way has a message, but this is how it came out for you. Entangled. Establish and communicate your own boundaries. Truce unveiling. Confront issues with honesty, revealing secrets to light the way forward. Confront issues with honesty, revealing secrets to light the way forward. Interesting. And then we have storms of love. Conflict is an opportunity for growth and change. Well, that's what the tower is. That's where the storm was. But look how it gave you the opportunity to change and grow. Entanglement. I feel like that's also the tower. So, what's one of the things I've learned from that? How to create boundaries. But I don't mean walls. I mean boundaries like a line in the sand. You know, let's say you dealt with someone who was a big partier and you're not, and they went out all the time. Well, I have a feeling the next person who enters your life, that's probably something you're going to look at. Like, okay, if you're someone who also parties a lot, needs to go out a lot, and I'm talking like by themselves, like without you. Well, do I want that in my next love? Chances are no. I'm not saying people don't have a right to go do their thing, but there seems to have been an issue with that. But it feels like you confronted it. And listen, maybe someone just didn't, you know, again, maybe somebody didn't grow up, but you did. Different energies again. Unbalanced again. But when I do create that boundary, put that line in the sand, what that does for you is gives you balance. Forget everyone else. It's about you having balance within your life. This is a beautiful, balanced reading of abundance and love. Like it left nothing out. All right, let's bring in the romance angels. And it's interesting because I don't remember all of your reading for the special I did, though I do remember I actually put a post out and I asked because I felt that some of you needed a special reading beyond your April reading. And Taurus, a lot of you reached out. So I did a special reading for you. And I just remember being kind of blown away. I might even wrote that as your title. I don't know. but I will connect that because chances are they're going to read together. All right. Romance angels. Tell us more. Codependency. Interesting. I was just talking about someone who wants to party all the time. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. I honestly don't feel that's you, but maybe it is something you put up with for a while. You know, sometimes we put up with things because the fear of change can be overwhelming. But I feel like one of the best things we can learn to do is flow with the change. Okay. Getting to know you, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Well, I feel like this is the communication. It's telling me that you are accepting this cup. Again, you're not rushing it. I like that you're getting to know each other first and foremost. I like this image because many are single parents. And I feel like this, well, here, we'll just use the image. This man is, I feel like trying to win over this woman. But look how the daughter is involved. Almost like if you're going to win me over, you got to win over my daughter. We're a package deal. But I feel like he will. Or she will. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. That's great news because it's talking about the energy. This is not a low vibrational energy. This is a high vibrational energy. And then heart to heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. It feels like just from these cards, we're evolving, right? We're getting to know each other, slow but steady. Hopefully, you're feeling that it's safe for you to love. If your heart is not open, then I don't know how it could work. And for those who are afraid, you know, that's where I feel like just take a step forward because it does feel like I can see the evolution of what's next, what's new, what's destined right here. By the way, here, he's sitting over here, they're over here, right? Just getting to know each other. And then we have heart to heart conversations, but look at them now. They're embracing each other. And look at the angels. Look at the angels. Look at the angel over the lovers. It's the evolution of Taurus and all that can be in your life. You do need to be proactive. Follow your passion. Try to be optimistic. I know that you've gone through this heartache. I see it. I know that it's affected you. Don't allow it to affect the rest of your life. And by the way, when I see the world and love in the same reading, I feel like there's a great opportunity of this love lasting forever. And that may be why we're seeing the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. But it all starts with the Ace of Cups. Well, it may all start with the communication. And there's one more message I'm getting. This king may call, and this queen may not have yet completely cleared previous energy. But I feel like because of this call, and because she's sitting over the Ace of Cups, it's what also helps her make this movement. I don't feel like this is for everyone, but this feels like for those who are stuck in relationships that aren't good. You know what I mean? Like it. I'm talking about the type of relationship where like if you're with a narcissist, you can't save them, and nor should you try. You should go live your life. And I feel like it's almost giving the queen a reason now to move on. Again, I don't feel like that's for everyone, but I can tell you, this is your destiny. You have a lot of power over it. And the rest, I feel like, is about flowing with the energy. Let the energy just carry you away. Wow. All right, Taurus, I'm going to leave that be. Again, I will connect your special. I'm going to do it in the comment section and then I'll pin it. I may put it in a more detailed section also, but I definitely want you to watch it because I just have a feeling that they're connected. Okay. I love you guys. I thank you. I thank each and every one of you. Truly, I do. I love you. You are my soul family. And when I do a reading, you're all right here with me. So thank you. And thank you for giving that love back. I feel it. I truly feel it. I feel I'm blessed to be able to do what I do. I'm blessed to be able to bring the messages. I do try very hard to make sure what I'm saying is real and not just fantasy. But in a reading though, what you want to remember is it's kind of giving you the steps, the best possible steps to help you reach your nirvana. Okay. Thank you. Love you. I'll see you next time. Happy May and happy birthday. Bye bye.